They're gonna be calling you thick lower back Theodore after you're doing these exercises. Welcome back to Self-Built. Today is a training video where I'm going to be showing you a couple different DIY exercises that are going to zero in on your lower back development, strength, and stability. The reason you want to have a very strong foundation in your core is because just about everything passes through your core, whether you're doing legs, back, or really anything in daily life, inside the gym or outside the gym. You need to have a strong core. And lower backs are one of the things that are most common in causing people pain or injury. The stronger and healthier you can make it, and also knowing what your body's able to do without it being overstrained, are just crucial. If your gym options are limited, or if you have a home gym and you're kind of wondering some different ideas and ways you can achieve this, I'll show you a couple good ones. Let's jump into the first one. In DIY fashion, you're going to need 2 loading pins. You can buy these or you can build them your own. I've been using these for over 5 years now, and they're great. They're awesome. You can do so many different workouts with these, and we're going to be using these for a form of deadlifts. They're almost a stability deadlift in a sense, and it's extremely adjustable. So these are going to be holding the weight, and what we're going to attach those to are this. I've been using a lot of different DIY pipes, and this is just going to be attaching the loading pins on each end. Something really cool about this setup is you can customize it 100% to what range of motion you want. Let's say, for example, you're big into deadlifting and your lockout isn't as strong as you want. Well, you can adjust and have a little bit of extra chain here to where you're not getting tension until you're right at that top out point. And it's just going to really help you focus in on that. It'd be very similar to doing something like rack pulls. But again, not everyone's going to have that commodity around. So this is going to be a great way to do that. When you're setting it up, it doesn't take too much time. It does depend on the weights that you have available. If you have 2-inch plates, you can usually just slide this over and attach it really fast. If you have 1-inch plates, you'll probably have to unscrew this and then attach it, which still isn't that big of a deal. And then getting it set up, you just guess roughly how wide the bar is going to be. And then you can just attach it like so. And right here. With this one, with the setup on this height, I chose to have it a little bit higher. Reason being is I destroyed my hamstrings yesterday with a long leg workout, and I'm focusing on just hitting the lower back. And I found with having it this height, I'm able to have my lower back fully engaged, and I'm not feeling my hamstrings have to take much of the load at all. So that's why I've got it a little bit higher. You can of course have it just one carabiner, or you can even do deficit deadlifts if you'd like. Just simply stand on some plates or a platform. A couple of things to keep in mind is it does depend on how long your pipe is, and if there's any movement in here, like that adds about an inch and a half or so. But you're able to really customize how much range of motion that you want. And a really cool benefit is my gym is very limited in size, and Olympic barbell doesn't really fit in here very well, and this is way smaller. Doesn't take nearly as much space as a traditional bar would. Now, you can't load as much weight, of course, but it's got plenty of weight that I would want to do. The only limiting factor that I could find for this would probably be this eye bolt here, and wondering how much it can take before it starts to bend and break. My reference of durability of these eye bolts comes from this bar. This is the bar I do all of my weighted pull-ups on, and I've gone up to having my body weight being about 302 pounds, and this hasn't shown any way of like deformation. Still straight, looks good. And I would say if you're gonna deadlift 300 pounds with this setup, just fine. So if you're gonna go above that, you could probably get away with it, but that's just as far as my experience has gone with this type of setup. Something cool is it does add a little bit of stability to it. Since the weights aren't totally fixed, there's a little bit of wiggle room here. It does help you train to have a consistent pull and really just help you engage all of your stability. So when you're doing traditional deadlifts or if the bar has a whip, this might possibly help. Besides saving space with this setup, another advantage you're going to have is it's easier to hang on to. This bar is not going to be trying to roll out of your hands as much as a traditional barbell. It's not ball bearing and doesn't roll nearly as easy as Olympic barbells, so just makes it a little easier to hang on to. You can of course add some wrist wraps or whatever you want to do if you're starting to lose grip. You can definitely get away with being a little bit more aggressive as long as your flooring's fine. With rubber flooring, you can definitely let the weights kind of smack the ground a little bit, but to make it a little bit harder, I like to stop just shy of it, hold for a second, and then explode up. Just gives your muscles less time to recover, more time under tension, and just makes it that much more difficult, which for me equals more fun. I'd highly recommend building some sort of bar like this because not just for deadlifts, you can use this as a stability training device. That sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? For chest or overhead press, really anything. I've done a couple videos where I'm doing flat bench press, and holy cow, it adds so much whip and stability because the longer the chain to the weight is, the more room and how easy it is for this to just be unstable. And you can build something like this super, super easy. I'll leave a link in the video of the video that I did make this in, just so you can have some reference. But yeah, these are such a fun piece of equipment. And you know, I really like the look of a kind of an industrial steampunkish kind of thing. When you're getting ready to first start this exercise, get kind of used to where you're putting your foot placement and where it's going to be. It's going to be different than doing just a traditional barbell, because usually you'll just have your shins touch the bar or have the bar in the middle of your foot. Whatever way you have your traditional setup, it's going to be a little bit different because the bar has so much wiggle. So just play with it, start light, and find that groove that works best for you. Nice thing is whenever you're doing drop sets, it's super easy. You don't even have to move your foot position. You can stay exactly planted, lean over, grab the weight, move it off each stack, and then put it back together and then get back to your set. If your lower back's not so fried that you're not able to hold yourself up. It does have a couple cool advantages that traditional things just don't have. Next exercise that really focuses on lower back would be hyperextensions. You can use this if you have a Smith machine, a barbell, or something that you can lean over. I'm lucky to have a Smith machine to where all I have to do, you don't have to do a pad, but I would recommend it because it'd be a little bit uncomfortable. But all you got to do is just lean forward. I'll have my hips just right up here and then just come right on down and just do like so. This is just a good accessory movement that you can do. And something nice, I do like to have my heels pushed up against my squat rack, and that's just for comfort, but you don't have to do that. I can scoot my feet forward and do the same thing. And depending on whatever angle you have your feet that you're leaning on the bar or whatever you're leaning on, it is going to change how you're going to feel it, more hamstring or more lower back based. Depending on your knee position, whether they're straight or they're bent, you're going to notice how much your hamstrings and glutes are going to be activated at the same time. So for today, I'm trying to avoid those muscles because they're so sore. So today I've got my knees pretty soft just so I can focus on just having my lower back taking all of the brunt. And one thing to watch for is don't overextend your back. Don't hyperextend on hyperextensions. I don't know who thought of the word, but that's a great way to injure your back. If you're going a lot further than your back is used to in range of motion, that's not a very good idea. And if you're trying to increase your resistance, well, where'd this come from? You can also use that same similar setup that we used for deadlifts and throw them on here. Might be a little ridiculous where you can just use a plate or something, but we're going in DIY fashion today. And here's the third lower back exercise that we're going to be doing. This one, it's not 100% DIY because you do buy this. I mean, I don't know how to make rubber bands, so I don't know if this is in that same level, but if you have a home gym, chances are pretty good that you have some sort of bands. Bands are extremely cheap, versatile, and lightweight, so you can take them on vacation workouts or, just really change things up a little bit. And I found that it's really good at training the top half range of motion, especially the lockout, because the more you stretch the band, the harder the resistance gets. And it's able to do it in a way that doesn't really load much on your spine. It gradually gets there. If your back is acting funny in any way, first I would recommend don't train your lower back. But if you're going to be stubborn like me, you may want to try something like this that's a little bit easier and gentle on your lower back. Setup is quick and easy. You just pick whatever band that you want to do depending on how much resistance that you want. Step inside and then get into a deadlift position and then just lift up just like this. There's many different levels of resistance that you can do with one band. You can do that first one, you can do this one, or you can do both. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can do this, and I'm able to really focus on the lower back quite a bit with not feeling too much other muscles taking over. And it's a good way to know because my hamstrings are really, really sore today and I'm not feeling them. So that's definitely a good indicator to know that they're not taking over in this exercise. You can add multiple bands, different colored bands, a lot of different great exercises and ways that you can do this. Bands are really fun for doing explosive training too. They're a little bit unique. When you're using cables or free weights, there's a little bit of momentum that's going to be going. Even on a cable machine, that stack's going to be moving up pretty fast. But when you're doing it with bands, it's fighting against you the whole time. You can really explode up without feeling that level of momentum taking over. It's really good at keeping that tension on you. It's really fun and very different, so definitely give it a try. And there you have it. There are 3 different DIY exercises you can do to really target, beef up, and make your lower back very healthy and strong. I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully it taught you some cool new things. If you have any critiques, ideas, or comments, definitely let me know in the comments below. I look through, read, and reply to each and every one of you. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. I also thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you could do me a huge solid, watch another one of these videos over here. Don't forget to punch in or take it on that gain train. And we'll see you next time on More Self Built.